got to cut about 3 minutes and 30 seconds off of his time.
I guess like my friend Brant always has like this like theory. He's like, if you could do this workout, then you'll be good for like a marathon. So it's usually around like 60-minute warm up, which is crazy to say, and then it's a 45-minute at effort pace, and then like a 15 and all that. Day like today, but at effort pace is always difficult, I guess. Not in a race scenario either. But 2-hour run right now, plus takeout. Not awful, and we'll hit a 20-miler next weekend. So after that, I think I'm ready for Chicago, but just a cooking pace. Always. I'm gonna get out of these shoes.
Last year I had such a disappointing race where it's almost impacting the way that I think about Chicago this year, and just kind of the mental toughness and just the doubt that I have in my mind of, okay, at mile 18 last year, I felt awful. How am I going to respond this year?
Yeah, just kind of brushing off all the rust, from just all the long miles, and finally get some speed under me after a couple weeks, and then heading into taper right now. So, it should be pretty good. It is a lot harder without someone to run with you at 6 in the morning, but, felt pretty good, and just kind of get some speed under my legs, which was really nice after, a couple weeks of long mileage.
So this will be my fourth Chicago Marathon, eighth marathon in total, and just to have half of my marathons in Chicago is truly something special. I always grew up volunteering at the Chicago Marathon with my high school, and that was kind of a rites of passage. Like, these were my first carbon fiber plated shoes. Went from a 301.30 to 251. Set, as you can see, like, the bottoms are all worn down, and just like, I don't know, I kind of, it's hard to get rid of a shoe like this, just because it's such a piece of history and piece of, my journey. So, I hand wash all of my hats. A lot of people just throw it in the wash, but I like to kind of like take care of things, and every hat has like a specific meaning, and I use most of them still. Chicago Marathon volunteering hat, New York Marathon hat, first Boston, first like Run Club Tin Man Elite hat. Going into my fourth Chicago Marathon it feels a little bit different. I think that there's a little bit more pressure this year, especially with this training block. It was really hard not to get ahead of myself. Yes, I'm looking for a 2:45. Yes, I'm looking for a big PR to qualify for Berlin, but every single time I have to pull myself back a little bit and really just focus in on Chicago itself. I never like backing down from a challenge, let alone one that involves running. And this year looks a little bit different because I have the opportunity to work with Heartbreak Running Company. So this year it's just as important to, you know, pack the right gear for, you know, Heartbreak gigs than, you know, also like my race gear. So I have to kind of, you know, balance out that.
For him, I think it's a way of doing life. It occupies so much of his time, and it's part of who he is, how he handles challenges, how he approaches his job, his relationships, all that. It's all kind of tied in together. Navigate Thompson State.
The James R. Thompson.
So the extra gear that I usually find around, you know, mile 18 to 22 or, you know, 23, 24 is usually like not how I'm feeling, but it's why I'm doing it in the first place. I feel like every, you know, successful runner has to ask themselves that question at least once or twice during a race, if not more, you know, to remind themselves on why they're on the course. And for me, you know, before every single race, I like to, you know, write down a couple names on my hand. So I'll put down Lee, Rosenberg, Okasik, and St. John, and all of these names, you know, they're of family members or, you know, family friends that have gone through a lot tougher scenarios. If they made it through that, then I can make it through, you know, this race.
For the running of the 46th running of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon.
I think the worst part is when you're watching for him and there's thousands of runners passing and you think he should be there any minute, but he's not there. And you keep asking yourself, did I miss him? I think it was his second Chicago Marathon. He got a personal best of 2:48. Like that was the best race he's ran so far. I mean, it was almost like everything just went perfectly. And no matter what happens today, good, bad, or indifferent, like always be proud of you, whether you ran or not, or whether your business is going on or not. Always very proud of who you've become.
In the winter, I have to remember to turn it off right before I make a gig because my hand's dead with the 70 mil.
How's Chicago, man?
Dude, yeah, Chicago was good. I feel like it's such mixed feelings. Like right now, so we're a week removed from Chicago and just like processing like, you know, all that racing and also just like all that build up because, you know, a training block takes out like a lot of you, you know, and so I think a lot of mixed emotions came out of Chicago. Like I didn't hit the goal that I wanted to. I think the most frustrating part about the whole entire race was, you know, I was on pace for, you know, 90% of it, right? But the marathon isn't, you know, 20 miles. The last 6 miles is really truly when the race actually starts.
Boom. Applied for 2020-25. Just like that.